right? If you have an idea of a song, of a theme, of a skit or something, and you're unable to bring it to life, it's torture. And you're looking at 5 million naira, and the talent, the money for the recording is there. The talent has some advance or something that has to collect. Then you need to shoot music videos, you need to do all of that stuff. And the sad part is, once you accept that 5 million naira deal or 10 million naira deal, and you get that money in, usually, more often than not, that's it.
That's it.
You can't earn anything else, right, from the music.
Hey, you're welcome to another new podcast. Hey, my name is Esh TV, but you can call me you, especially you. I'm talking to you. You can call me Esh. But the ladies, the lovely, sexy, beautiful, pretty ladies, they call me Esh, baby, with a lot of sex attitude. And I'm not here alone. I'm here with...
Hey, Land Fam, it's your girl, Esosa, your delectable brainiac, bringing you sharp insights as always. So let's get into it.
Look, I'm not prepared for this intro. I didn't write anything down. It's just coming straight from my head so I can make mistakes. When I left secondary school, I left with memories of my school days and dreams. And coincidentally, I met a man with dreams and sleepless nights. Look, this man robbed gemstones and turned them into shining stars. I don't want to say too much because I don't want my introduction to be too long, but you know me now, I like to keep secrets. I love secrets. And when I reveal the man, you will know that, yes, he's been behind the scene. He loves being behind the scene, but he's so popular that you know him. I'm talking about none other. Well, he gave me a standing ovation, but because I'm glued to this seat, I was going to give him a standing ovation as well. But you at home, give him a standing ovation. Doff your cap for none other, for the man who changed the industry in so many ways. You're going to find out. Efe Omorogbe. Camera on him, please. Camera on him. And drum roll. Anyway, drum roll. Efe, you're welcome to Knowledge Lounge Podcast.
Thank you very much.
We've not seen in ages. And you surprised me.
Been too long.
You damn well surprised me. But we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of the matter. Lovely, I want to ask the first question. And, there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Efe, I know I'm going to be in your story, but it's all about you. Truly, honestly, it's all about you. So, don't put me in your story too much. Because you see, we motivate people, we inspire them. So that's why we always ask our guests to tell us a background story, because they need to be inspired. Because you see, you are who you are today based on the journey you started yesterday. So they need to hear about the journey. They need to know that the journey was not smooth. Because a lot of people want to be like Efe, but they don't want to walk the walk. So Efe, tell them how it started, because I know that Efe used to rap as well. You believe that?
Wow, really?
You're gonna hear from me if it's not a horse. You're gonna hear from Efe's mouth. Efe, give them a background story of then and now.
Okay, one of my favorite stories would be leaving Unilag.
Yes.
The campus, Akoka.
Yes.
Taking a bus to Yaba. Campus shuttle bus to Yaba, then getting on a mole to Oshodi. Then from Oshodi, getting on that mole to somewhere called Agbado Ijaye.
Yeah, Agbado Ijaye.
No, not Agbado Ijaye. Sorry, you Songo toll gate, but you stop at Castle, somewhere called Castle bus stop.
Okay, Castle bus stop, yeah.
And we do another long journey to somewhere called Ray Power, right?
Wow. Oh, you said you're a tricky guy. You're tricky.
That was the Mecca back in the day. Mm-hmm. This is like almost 30 years ago.
Yes.
Right? And we get to Ray Power. Why am I going to Ray Power? I'm trying to get some airplay for, music that we're trying to promote, right? Mm-hmm. Now, but what exactly am I going to do at Ray Power? What's the process? There's no exact strategy.
Wow.
Because there's nobody at Ray Power that knows me. There's nobody at Ray Power that's expecting me. So what do? We get there. We stay out in some of those kiosks where they sell, soft drinks and whatever.
And snacks and stuff.
We hope we wait and we hope that one of the OAPs would step out, stretch their legs, take a drink or something. That we're just like, boss, I have the CD, I have this cassette, I have the song for my artist, and I'd like you to listen to it. And if it's worthy of airplay, you probably give us some spins. That was the only way we knew how to get heard. After working, after dreaming, after creating music, to get heard for us while I was a Unilag student running and set up, Now Music and Megamore Productions. That was what I had to do to get airplay. Go to a radio station miles and miles away and wait and hope that somebody walks out that I can walk up to. Yeah, so it's like, in my crew, we call it ambush marketing.
You guys gave it a name.
Yeah, ambush marketing.
Did you register the name?
No.
You like registering IP.
Yeah, so that's one of my favorite stories.
That's
because it just shows. It shows. It's not even resilience. It shows a commitment to getting results one way or another. There's no clarity. There's no appointment. There's no GSM call. Like you call the person and tell them you're on your way. No one is expecting.
Was there GSM that time?
There
was no GSM.
Wow.
No GSM.
GSM. No phone. No phone. Just landlines.
And if I wanted to even call, say Ray Power, for example, I probably have to go to some phone booth somewhere. And queue up for maybe an hour to wait to get to my turn, and I use a card and I call, and there's no guarantee that somebody else will pick up there. So you just take a leap of faith, and you just enter motor, you just go where you don't know.
And now here we are.
Yeah.
Wow. You've recently closed a very long chapter with Subaba. When something that significant ends, how do you mentally reset, and redefine the next move? Because it was a long ride.
Yeah, it was a long ride. But there are two parts to it. Okay. It was a long ride. But in terms of mentally reset to do other stuff,
next phase, yeah.
That's in itself is not too much of a problem, because we've always had. So, I people know Efe and Innocence, right? Subaba and Efe Omorogbe, but I've never managed any talent in my personal capacity, right? It was Now Music, right? So I work at Now Music, and Now Music, represents those artists, right? So, and while the Subaba project was ongoing, even though that was the most popular, that was the biggest, project.
Yeah,
we're always developing other stuff. We're always working on other stuff. So, by March 2024, when we did the official disengagement, by that time we were prepping for CMCA's release. It was putting together the Bipolar EP.
Okay.
Yes, and we were also having meetings, strategy sessions, on how to move with his work. And, so and that's just Now Music. So, of course, there's Hypertech Digital, there's Buckeye Media. We have event properties. We service, clients. So we've always been multifunctional.
Okay.
In the stuff that we do. So in terms of closing that chapter was tough, but also what it also created was an opportunity to open up space and time for you to dedicate to attention to some other
other
projects
things,
that you're working on.
Okay. I researched you too. Still on that Subaba line, I know a lot of people don't know that you co-wrote some of his songs on his catalog. Do you want to talk about it? Because you mentioned that you didn't really work with the talent directly. It was under Music, your company also.
There's management capacity, yes. Yeah, we collaborated on a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So talk about your music writing.
Okay, so this is how I like to tell myself that I'm fundamentally a writer. Before anything else, I'm fundamentally a writer. And so while people would know me better or tag me, a talent manager, which I'm a tag I'm proud to wear.
Yeah.
That I do so many other things. But of course, human beings, we like boxes, right? So we create boxes to engage issues. We create boxes to understand, things.
True.
We create boxes to solve problems.
Yeah.
So when they create a box for you as a manager, right? The average person does not see you as a manager and a creative at the same time.
Yes.
Right? So they just assume that. And even I joke sometimes I do not play any musical instruments. No, sorry, that I play the most important instrument.
Okay.
And if you ask me what's the most important instrument, I'll tell you it's the calculator. Right?
Yeah, you calculate the money.
Yes, the calculator. But there are different sides to me. There've always been different sides to me.
Yeah.
So I write. I love to write. I write when I'm sad. I write when I'm excited. I write when I'm depressed. I write when writing is a huge outlet for me. So whether it's poetry, whether it's prose, whether it's songwriting, whether I'm writing, a script for a production, for a live production, whether I write, I write. So, So Innocent and I collaborate. So in the course of making music, because of putting that together an album or something, we create music together. So we vibe. I like this line, and supply this line. He's feeling this.
Yeah.
He's working that. And
you
stuff,
are a student of English from Unilag. Yeah. You speak too much English. Yeah. You like hiding under BB grammar. Look. Well, this conversation is going to be going back and forth.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure, you get.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take them back.
Yeah, that's fine.
When you said you write, it's true that he writes. You literally carried Hip Hop Magazine on your head. Virtually all the pages there. At that time, I don't even think, would I call you a ghostwriter? Because I know there are places that are pages there that your name appear as the writer, and there are other pages there your name don't appear, but you happen to be writer. And also, I know your journey towards creating now music, and I need you to talk about that as well, because I know you gave me an abridged version when I said, if you tell us a little bit about you, but we cannot escape from it, because today, either we call it celebrating you or discussing you as a manager and as Efe. We can't even discuss you as a manager only.
Yeah.
We have to discuss Efe. And Efe is this, Efe is that. I'm not patronizing you. No. I mean, I don't have anything to lose, nor do I have anything to gain. But we need to just educate our people.
Yes.
So in the days of hip hop, I know I don't think I have to go into that. You wouldn't love me to go into that. But let's talk about you in the days of Hip Hop Magazine, and then the creation of Now Music, which you claim you don't want to claim is your own. So, but there's no problem. But I want you to talk about those two.
Okay, so straight out of before I left Unilag in '96, I linked up with a guy, a young guy called Efe Omorogbe. I met him through my cousin, Efe Omorogbe, who was also, in Unilag.
Yes.
And I saw, the magazine, Hip Hop World magazine.
Yeah, Hip Hop World.
The first edition.
Yes.
And I liked it. I thought it was cool. We had a chart. I checked out, some of, it had great stories and it had lyrics, to songs. And the first thing I said to him was that, bro, these lyrics are wrong, right?
Oh, okay.
This line, and you look at it, okay, it's probably a typo and all of that. And what do you do? Whatever, yeah. So yes, I'm in Unilag here, but I make music, I have a crew, I write songs, but I also do, so anyway, so we linked up. So straight out of Unilag, what was supposed to be my service year, I wound up, at Hip Hop World magazine, 70B Allen Avenue. And the vibe was just great. It wasn't it was what I wanted to do. Next to making music was reporting music, and it created a great opportunity for me to meet a lot of people.
Yes.
So I connected with the industry beyond my clique, because I always had a clique. I started making music from secondary school. Actually, I started as I started break dancing from secondary school, serious break
Don't miss all that.
So
Don't miss your rap days. Don't miss your rap days.
Multi-talented.
The funny about my journey with music, music has been in the center, like the pivot, the center of my life for the longest time. I don't know how to say this. I literally grew up playing records. I grew up from a 3-year-old to a 4-year-old. If you had a time lapse, you would see me as a 3-4-year-old kid going to 7, 8, 9, sitting in one spot, playing records, right? Of course, I'll take bathroom breaks. I'll probably go and eat. I'll probably go to school. But once I'm done, I play a bit of football, I come back there. So I'm playing records. As a 6-year-old, as a 7-year-old, I was playing records. Vinyl. I was checking out liner credits, songwriter, producer, vocals, arranger, executive producer. I knew the names of all the behind the scenes guys, right?
Yes.
On all the big records, whether this was a Grace Jones record, or was a Jamin Jackson record, or a Bob Marley record, or or a Michael Jackson record, or even later records from the likes of Sir Victor Wifo, records from the likes of Chris Okoti and the others. So I was that kid who would sit down and play records, right? So writing the rhyme skills, particularly the country songs, right?
Oh, okay.
Yes. Oh, it was Dolly Parton, Don Williams, Kenny Rogers. You open the vinyl, and in there you have the line, the inlay credits, right? And I'll see the lyrics: coffee, black, cigarette, starts the day like all the rest. First thing every morning that I do is start missing you. And I was fascinated as a child, right? So that was what sucked me into poetry, into literary appreciation and all of that. So when I got into secondary school, class 1, then we didn't have JSS, so we're the last set of the old system, right? It was from 1 to 5. We didn't have, after we left that, they flipped it and they brought the JSS and the SS thing. So my first year, got enrolled in this school. I was supposed to go to a particular school. My secondary school, Ogoda Press, was a feeder to St. Malachy's.
Oh, okay,
but my brothers, my cousin were in Okotiabo Grammar School in Saple. So, my dad insisted that instead of me going to, a different school, let me just, so I didn't go to, all my classmates in primary school went to, St. Malachy's, but I went to Okotiabo Grammar School. And first week out of school, step out, I just see a cluster of guys under some tree, in break time, and they were just vibing and all of that.
Wow.
And I joined them. And what were they doing? They were dancing, right?
Break
dancing, So I got involved. And one day, it got to my turn. I got in the middle and I busted a move and bad guy. Anyway. So, but the thing about the Okotiabo Grammar School is that breakdancing was a big deal in my school, right? Even in the whole town, it was a big deal. We had the football team, we had the racing, the athletics guys, the 100 meter,
track and field
guys. That was big. We had the debating society and the science quiz guys.
Yeah.
Then we had the breakdance squad. So it was serious. So whether it was Children's Day or October 1st, those type of stuff, even inter-house sports, when I had inter-house sports, you had this invitational relays where schools and all of that.
Come around.
We showed up, and we performed, right? Yes, performed in the open fields, in front of the dignitaries and all of that. So it was a big deal. I had this guy called Austin Pasakomo. He was amazing. It was amazing dancer, amazing choreographer. It was, it was a singer.
And at that time,
so you
guys were still young.
From class 1, class 2, 12, 13-year-old kids, at 14, 15. So we grew through that. Pasakomo, graduated. I think it was in Form 1, he was in Form 4. Then he got to Form 5, then he left. Yeah. So 2 years later, we became, the big dogs. But we kept the tradition. So we'd show up. We would pull stunts. We would do costume changes. We would do, flips. And they would invite us. They would have big gigs, somewhere. There was a time, there was this anniversary for the Federal Government College Warriors, some of these big unity schools, and they reached out to us. They'll write to our principal and say they know about the squad, the breakdown
school
squad.
to school,
yes,
school.
and we'll show up and we're like, we were for real, we were celebrities. Everybody in that breakdown hip hop squad. Sapele was a small town.
Yeah.
If you didn't know us, you knew about us. You know our names.
Yeah.
And we moved like we moved like Omale. We moved like and all of that stuff. So so it was a big deal. And yes, that's why by the time I got to the university, I was bored with the attention because I'd had a lot of attention. Growing up.
Yeah.
Then I finished secondary school. I went to Benin, spent about a year and a half or so in Benin. I joined B Squad, Benjoff, and Benjoff was the Berigodi of that zone.
Oh,
he had,
don't say.
Yes, he had a management company. He trained artists, he trained models, and all of that. So I joined. They gave me a recording contract. I wanted to do a rap album.
Now you're talking about the rap, right?
Yeah, they conscripted me to like be part of the B Squad, the dance squad. So that was how I met Sammy Odins. He was a choreographer.
Okay.
And Danny Dollar,
Yeah, of course. Danny is a pastor now.
Yeah. So we started the dancing thing, and we did a TV show called Beat. I think I did one or two seasons or quarters of this TV show called Beat Wave. It was running on weekends, on TV. So we moved from being popular within Sapele, Warri Axis, to being on TV, and people would watch us every weekend, and they, girls like my younger brothers because they knew they were my younger brothers, that kind of stuff.
Wow, you had such an exciting childhood.
Oh yes, it was. Wow. Yeah, and we did get into trouble a few times too, but
it's part of growing up.
It's part of growing up.
Let's talk about like business, money. You've always been clear about your passion. You somewhat had clarity of your interests while you were growing up, what you wanted to do. So at what point did you realize that, okay, this is not just passion, like this is my passion, but like I need to monetize it, I need to make money out of it? At what point in your life? Was it in uni? Was it after uni when you said you used to go to, I can't remember the name on the mainland now, where there was no phones and all of that? Yeah. At what point did you realize, oh, this is more than just passion, I can make money out of this is the aspect of it I want to focus on? What was that journey like?
So it's funny, I don't remember clearly. I knew I wanted to get serious, but I never, it wasn't like a money thing. Money was, so I knew we needed money. We needed money very, often. Now the money I looked for was the money to make the music, the money to create the records, the money to promote the records, the money to shoot the videos. It wasn't money to flex.
What you get out of it.
Whatever, right? So my challenge was that I always knew that this was what I wanted to do more than anything else. So how was I going to make that pursuit generate the kind of funding that it will require to keep the wheels turning? Blowing up, getting money, buying houses or whatever was not the primary focus, right? It was to be able to express, because again, the really bad thing about the burden for creatives is this: people don't understand. As a creative, your most important need is a platform for self-expression. Every other thing comes after that, right? If you have an idea of a song, of a theme, of a skit or something, and you're unable to bring it to life, it's torture.
Yes, it is.
Right? Maybe the best way I can describe it is like a woman who's pregnant. Now, when a woman is, you find out in the first couple of weeks that the woman is pregnant, everybody's excited and all of that, right? But if that pregnancy stays beyond 9 months, 10 months, 11 months, then everybody's alarmed.
Yeah.
Then it becomes a burden, right? And sometimes it's like as a threat. That's how it feels when you're trying to make a film, you're trying to drop a song, you're trying to release an album, you're trying to, showcase this dance presentation, and you cannot find a platform. So all my life, what I've done is this. I respond to the challenges that I meet on my way to find platforms for self-expression, right? So I'm the kind of like I flow like water, and I hit a brick wall and I find another, right? So how did I even end up in journalism in Hip Hop magazine? We had put out a record, right? At when I was still in uni, like, and I had my Now Music and Mega Mob stuff. We put out Slick's record. Our first artist was Slick, right?
Yeah.
We had a tidy plan. Well, we didn't have a budget. What we did not know was how expensive it was to promote.
Yes.
So every other thing was in place: the talent check, the crew check, the music check. I had a blueprint for the entire thing. I had blueprints for even performances.
Well, you're a sucker for that, you know?
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. I had a blueprint for I told people years later that a lot of the things we did, right, the first 10, 12, 15 years of Now Music, that's the first time I worked with people like Sonny Neji, worked with like Two-Face Idibia, we worked with people like Raw. I did not create anything new. I was implementing the blueprint that I carried from Unilag from the early 90s.
Wow.
Right? So once I hit a brick wall, I found out that, promotion is hard and promotion is expensive. I asked myself, how do we do this? I said, okay, if I get into entertainment media, right, via hip hop world, I might be able to find the right platforms to. So I was not at hip hop world for hip hop world. I was at hip hop world for Now Music.
To
find the platform, to meet the people. And that's why I'm very grateful to Adimash. I'm very grateful to the platform.
Because I was going to say he's listening.
Right? I'm very grateful because again, we had our challenges, but I learned a lot. Right? I gained a lot. I owe so much of what we were able to do later, in this space to the hip hop was like another stage, another kind of school. Because I was sat down and watched Ayo squeeze water from stone.
Yes, he did.
And I was inspired. I'm inspired by Ayo's tenacity. Ayo is a monster. Ayo is a beast. We sit down like this, bro. We wrap up a typical work day. We finish. I don't know. All these young people these days. Somebody needs to. I don't. Maybe we need to recreate.
That's why we have knowledge.
What you guys did. What you guys did.
I'm sitting here. I'm looking at a hard drive. That hard drive is probably 1 terabyte.
Yeah.
SSD hard drive. That hard drive, right?
Possibly, yes.
You don't know what 1 terabyte is. You don't know what SSD is. You will never understand what it means if you've not worked with a floppy disk of 1.44 meg.
There you go.
If you've not had to produce stuff for a magazine and all you had was a 100 meg zip disk and you had to get an external zip drive because your laptops, you guys are in heaven.
So you're saying we have things easy. We have things easy.
Man, it was tough.
What's that?
But it's not my show.
What you have is more than easy, right? If you sit down and break down what it takes for you to do a production. We had Hip Hop magazine so popular. We're getting fan mails from the UK, from Sudan, from everywhere, right? Now, we're few. I contributed so much.
You did.
I had multiple pseudonyms. The articles that you have, Efe Omorogbe, the articles I had, Sandy, the articles I had, Meticulous, the articles I had, Imoro, the articles that, like the amount of work we did between Ayo, myself, and a few of the guys who came through later, Bayo Mishore, Ayeni, Mode 9, Solo D, the amount of work we did was enormous. But the tools that we had to work, right? Okay, let me bust your brain.
Bust my brain.
Bust it.
So, mainstay floppy disk 1.44 meg. We can only take text you type. After 10-15 articles you don't full, so you had boxes of floppy drives, right? Then we get 100 meg zip drive. Now what did we do with the zip drives? We copy the stuff together. We want to go and do designs, right? Now you cannot even scan a picture and put the picture in the in the floppy disk. So our zip discs were for images.
Yes.
And we did have the kind of scanners that they can scan stuff on your phone.
On your phone.
And our office was at Allen. we'll go to Planet Graphics. We'll go to somewhere in Surulere or somewhere, around Agor to scan pictures, scan pictures. We'll scan the pictures, label them, put them in the zip drive. Then we come back to Towing Street or somewhere, Tukumbali, there's a guy called Vince in Japan, one of, a graphics guy. Right now, what did I do? After all the writing, I would show up. Vince had a regular gig at Elohino, an agency, right? So he would do his regular gig. He would probably close at about 6 p.m., chill out a bit.
Yeah.
So our own designs, he did it as private practice in the evenings at night. So Vince would start work maybe at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m.
Late night.
My task was to wake him up when he takes it. If he takes it, if I get down his napping between, say, 7, 8, 9, right? I wake him up around 11, 12 for him to get to work on our project. Now, I'll sit there. He's doing the designs. I'm identifying the article that's going to page 1. I'm identifying the caption. I'm identifying the picture from the other zip drive that would attach to this, right?
Wow.
Right?
Was that complicated?
It's not pretty. It's not pretty.
And you can do all of this. Then just about when you want to go to press to print, something happens and your disk crashes or something, and there's no backup or whatever. Or sometimes we actually even do the magazine. He raises money, he prints the magazine, we distribute. The agents collect the magazines from us. They sell. It's not like they pop out hot cake. They sell.
Yes, they do.
They don't pay us. Why? Because we were small. They'll take the money they made from selling hip hop, they'll buy. There's some other publications that, they cannot get on credit, sales on return. That's what we used to call it, right? They will have to pay cash for it. So they wanted Newswatch, they wanted Tempo, they wanted, those type of publications, they'll pay cash. So what they did, they will use our money to trade as capital to buy and, so they will only remit our funds when they're compelled to. And how do we compel them? When we have a new edition to sell. So how can we produce a new edition when
without
money is
funds?
stuck with those guys? So we had to squeeze. When I say animation, squeeze water from stone. Yeah, that's what we're doing. So people say, your magazine late. It's supposed to be a monthly or a quarterly. And the last 2 months, you guys have not published. We'll tell them that they should calm down. Right? Now, sometimes we go through all that stuff before we get to the point where we want to go to press. What happens? Our content is stale.
Yeah.
Some new stuff is happening. There's some, concert that just happened. Somebody just dropped one big album. Somebody just fought to somebody somewhere. Are we going to drop a magazine that does not contain any of all this new stuff? So we go back into production again, right? But we somehow kept it going. And when we're done with the magazine, we also were responsible for circulation. Then sometimes we're at the office, right? We don't get cash, no money to leave. We don't get cash. So what do we do? It's okay. Don't or somebody, you go to Ikeja, you go to Joelegba. We just go to different mop up some small change from the vendors. They will come back and say, okay, how much do we have? We have 10,000. Okay, you hold 2K, you hold 1K, you hold this, and all of that stuff.
Wow.
But it was mad. It was fun.
I don't know if people will believe you because Efe of now, they'll say, I can't reconcile Efe of now with that Efe. I mean, did you go through that? Are you cooking up stories?
He was rugged at the time, right?
I was there.
Now he's not much calmer.
I was there and I didn't even see as much as he's saying.
So
believe me,
it was magic, right? It was difficult, but the beauty of it was that we made it happen. Ayo made it happen every single time. He kept on pushing it, and it was growing. But let me tell you something really, really funny. 85, maybe 90% of the publications that the distributors, right, the agents held our money back to fund. 85% of them were off the newsstands 10 years before 10 years before hip hop world fully changed, morphed into the TV channel.
Yes, of course they did.
A lot of them didn't survive.
Yes.
And a lot of the media houses are folded. A lot of those businesses are dead. But Hip Hop World has given birth to Hip TV. Hip TV, has helped, the Headies,
and all of that
where
you guys were coming from.
Oh, man.
But we were the guys, we were the small fries that were pushed around. We're the ones whose, resources were used to, whatever. But we have outlasted 85% of everybody in the space. Yeah.
I hope people that are watching learn from this, because
that's why I said
it's not easy, because these days people just give up. You try something once, it's not working for me, on to the next. Nobody wants to actually put in the work, face the challenges. They see people, you're talking about Animasha now, people look at him like, I want to be this man, I want to be like this man, but they don't see the struggles. That's why we wanted you to speak about it. I mean, that's why Knowledge Launch is here, so people can learn and grow. I have patience, because Nigerians will test you. They will test your patience.
We've been tested. Back in the days, we have been tested. Well, there was no GSM, so you can imagine what we were going through. Not
and
now,
we
when
can't
you can
even live without phone. I can't stay with my phone for like an hour. I can't do without my phone for an hour. So imagine.
For an hour, try 15 minutes.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Efe, you see, I want to use this English. I want to eat from your brain. Well, I've been eating from your brain a long time ago. I want my people to eat from your brain. I want to talk. I really don't have a specific question I'm going to ask you about IP, intellectual property, royalties, and stuff like that. But I know that you know that there are still lacuna, so to speak, in that area as far as Nigeria intellectual property issue is concerned, with creators when it comes to music. Well, if you want to restrict us to music, no problem. But I know that you are vast in all of it, as far as IP is more or less like the unifying umbrella for all of this works. So what are the things you really want to talk about? What are the challenges we're having? What are the milestones we've achieved? We can't talk about milestones without you. I know you really don't want to take credit, but there's no way your name will pop up. So what are the milestones there? Because I knew that back in our days, a lot of artists don't even know about it. I will use the word unenlightened about it. They never knew it existed. And you were among the first set of people back then that knew it was necessary that you as an artist register, find a way to publishing, and all that stuff is very important. So how are we faring up till now? And milestones and challenges and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's been very, very challenging. It's been more challenging than it ought to be. But then again, that's what happens in a system like ours. There's a lot of ignorance. And even the people who know, once they notice that they can beat the system, they will definitely try to beat the system.
Wow.
But the level of awareness is way higher now. You know? And so we feel a little bit of some measure of happiness that all that work, all that sacrifice, and all that, right? Has not gone in vain, because there's generally better awareness level as far as intellectual property
is concerned.
Whatever is concerned. Some of it is just down to the hard work of a lot of people. I worked in this space for years. When I say this space, I mean the whole IP protection, whatever. Working with other industry colleagues, I benefited a lot from the mentorship and the guidance of a lot of people. So again, this is what I am. My personal mantra is make your little space a better place, right? So I'm a problem solver. Problem solver. That's what I do. That's the way I'm wired.
Well,
that's probably my purpose, right? I try to solve problems. So unfortunately, there are a lot of players in this space who would just prefer to do what works for them alone, right? So it's hard to get the kind of, to aggregate the kind of momentum you need to shift things quickly, because a lot of players are focused on just their interest. But the thing about IP and systems like this, what people do not realize is that you cannot there's no personal. You cannot insulate yourself or your products or your company from the challenges of the general system.
Yes.
You really cannot. So, so as daunting as it is, you have a task to try to engage to find a solution. So I moved from looking for ways to express myself, working with talents, producing live events, and all of that, music, performances, TV shows, TV specials, magazine stuff. Because again, after Hip Hop World Magazine, I did some work, with Global Sounds, with Kwame, and all of that. Yeah. So I've a lot of that media stuff going while I'm also, have the music side going. Now, I found out at some point that the royalty system in Nigeria was very dysfunctional, totally dysfunctional. Your kids are lucky, man.
Oh yeah, they are.
That you can make a song now, right?
AI.
You mix it and all of that stuff, and just release it, and 2 days later or something, it's available on the stores. It's magic,
and it's streaming,
right? It's
thousands
magic.
And stuff.
For us, this time 20 years ago, we make music. Then we take the music to Alaba.
The almighty Alaba.
Yes, we take the music to Alaba 25 years ago. And we're pitching the music to marketers, distributors, right? And of course, if you know anything about Alaba, there's the marketers, front line marketers. And behind them, there are the pirate marketers who waits for you to do all the hard work and all that stuff to just notice that something is popping, and they take one copy of it and they mass produce 100,000 copies or 10 million copies, and they cash out, right? And they have absolutely no cost, no. The only thing that that's probably an episode on its own, right? So we were frontline voices because we make this music with the talents. We put it together. We put together money for marketing, for promotion and all that stuff. So we were asking yourself, you go to a marketer and he says, okay, I'm going to release this stuff, but what I'm able to do is 5 million naira, right? I want to pay 5 million naira. I'll pay it in 3 tranches. And you're looking at 5 million naira. And the talent, the money for the recording is there. The talent has some advance or something that has to collect. Then you need to shoot music videos. You need to do all of that stuff. And the sad part is, once you accept that 5 million naira deal or 10 million naira deal, and you get that money in, usually, more often than not, that's it.
That's it.
You can't earn anything else, right, from the music. So what do? You depend on performances, shows.
Yeah.
So the entire industry was designed to just have people put out popular records, then go make money from shows. And it's not bad, but that shouldn't be, right?
It shouldn't be. Because it doesn't even guarantee your future.
It shouldn't be. So again, what if I'm invested in this stuff, but I don't perform? What if I can't perform? What if I don't want to perform? What if I want to write the song with HTV?
Yeah.
I want to, produce the stuff. I want to push the music.
True.
But I don't want to be the foreground figure performing.
Yes.
How am I going to make money?
These are valid questions.
Yes, from my work as an A&R person or as a writer or as even a producer beyond the production fee advance. Now, when you do not have a proper system, then there's just one income stream, or no, 2 income streams. One, the money from the Alaba guys, then 2, the money from the shows.
And possibly, if you say you don't want to perform, so you'll be taking only from the Alaba marketers.
And there's a way it messes up the entire system. It's a complex thing. If I have time, I probably will break it down. But there's a way. But again, the truth is this: about making music, it requires a different skill sets to make music successfully, right? Some of the biggest artists in the world are vocal performers. They're not writers, composers, producers.
Wow.
Right? Some of them, a lot of them. a few people are successful. A handful of people are successful as writers, producers, and vocal performers. If you take out maybe people like R. Kelly, you take out in Nigeria, a few talents, right?
Yeah.
But the vast majority of us are stronger either as performers or as writers, composers. But again, even as writer, composer, you can be a writer, composer, and you cannot sing to save your life. AKA Efe Omorogbe, right?
Well, you can rap to save your life
Right.
now. Come off it.
So you want to make music. Now you need people. Even the biggest writers, the best producers, they work better in collaboration. In collaborations.
Yeah.
You should hear 49115, right? The HTV song that I love so much.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
When we made that record, we had done the record. We had 2 verses and everything, but we woke up and said, HTV said, there's something that's missing. He wants to put somebody on a version of the song, so he puts Paul Play Dairo on a version of
Wow, I did?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes, we put Paul Play Dairo.
I put Paul Play Dairo.
Yes.
God damn it!
We put Paul on.
I must have
That was a long time ago. Since you can't remember.
It was.
We put Paul, now. Paul is beyond brilliant, right? Now, you when you listen to the record, all the elements coming together, delivered something that was really, really, really it's still a bust my brain till today. I listen to this, I hear it. That song plays in my head at least once every month for the last 25, 30 years.
You don't say.
Right? Now, but your record is there. The record is just one beat. Do you know what else you need?
Yes.
You need marketing and promotion.
Yes.
Then you need a strategy.
Yes, you do.
Now, you have a lot of marketing funds. If you don't have the right strategy, you will not get the right results.
Yes.
If you have the craziest strategy and you don't have the funding,
funds.
you will not get
go
the
hand
best
in hand.
result. If you have mad strategy, you have a lot of money and you don't have the music, you don't have the
A great song.
really, really badass content, you will struggle.
Yes.
So all of these things have to come together before you stand a chance of making a hit record, and even after you make a hit record, there's a strategy to milking a hit record.
Hit record. Wow.
Right? If he scores a hit record, you score a hit record, I score a hit record. What each of us will make off that hit record within the next 3 to 6 years depends on strategic management and our play.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why you see some people they make. Sorry, you guys don't fight, don't hate me too much, but you ask yourself a basic question, right? Who in Nigeria, who in Africa within this new generation of guys makes, in terms of talent, who makes better music than Kiss Daniel? Who can you say this person is way more talented than Kiss Daniel?
Are you asking me
Yes.
to?
Name one person.
I'll be biased because I'll pick my bias.
Who?
Wizkid.
Seriously.
So in my opinion,
Terms.
so in my opinion,
music.
nobody makes better music than Kiss Daniel. You can make music that's as good as Kiss Daniel.
But it can be better.
You can't make better music.
Why is that?
He's unbelievable.
Is it in terms of songwriting or
The whole nine.
In what aspect?
The whole
is it
nine. Kiss
better?
Daniel is talent. If it's just down to talent, the music.
It's unarguable.
Kiss Daniel is the gold
It's
standard,
unarguable.
right?
It's
For
unarguable.
his generation, is a gold standard. The other people are very good, but they're not better than Kiss Daniel, right? But they're probably bigger than Kiss Daniel in the context.
Yes.
Now, why are they bigger than Kiss Daniel if they're not more talented than Kiss Daniel? They're not making better music than Kiss Daniel. That's where the dynamics of the music that you make that is popular.
Yeah, the strategy.
How are you making it?
Yes.
How are you moving? Who are you moving with?
Yeah.
Who are the guys that are So let me ask another dumb question. Let's assume that everybody's talented to a 75% level, right?
Yeah.
75% and up. If you were the guys who did Lion King,
Oh, Lion
right?
King,
The
yeah.
Lion King, and you were making a big soundtrack album with Beyonce, and you want to feature leading African artist because the story is an African story, you know, and all of that, right? The Lion King stories and Mufasa and all those African stories. So you want to make a huge soundtrack. When you want to select talents to work with Beyonce on the album, what would be your primary focus? Are you going to focus on the guys who are the most talented, or you're going to focus on the guys who are very talented, but again, some of the guys who are affiliated to the Sony Music brand, with the Sony Music, Sony Pictures, Sony and all that. Right? So what I'm saying to you is that some guy might make that project, not necessarily because in terms of talent, he or she is the best talent in Africa. Right? Strategically, that talent might be working with a label or a management that is, you know, affiliated with the guys who are making the film.
The film, yes.
So, in terms of, if they put everybody that is solid, they will get some degree of first dip, some preferential, selective, whatever. So what I'm basically trying to say is talent is not enough, right? Now, so the way the system works is, you put all of this together. You need all of these things to come together to make, you know, to get optimum results.
Yes.
Now, so our system, the copyright issue, the IP protection issue is a major problem. And when we're trying to engage the issues, we found out that, okay, so first there was the issue of ignorance.
On the part of the creatives, the artists?
The ignorance level on the part of the creators is even worse than the ignorance level on the part of the users. Because a lot of the users know what they're doing. People who use music commercially, right? Who use your IP commercially, they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
they know they're stealing from you.
Yes.
Right? But the system is not configured in such a way that they are compelled to pay for it.
To pay.
So they will look for all kinds of excuses. Yes, you know, of course, they will look for all kinds of excuses now. But the guys who made the music, a lot of them did not understand. A lot of them wanted to be heard so badly. You know, like I told you about this expression. Yes, right.
They're desperate.
Yes, right. And you feel like, okay, if they play my record in all the media outlets and I'm popular, then I can get shows. If I get shows, then I'll perform. Then I'll make money. And it's, as I said, it's not bad. But here's the problem. Let me cite an example everybody can relate with. Your name is, I'm not saying that, this is just an example, right? Your name is Flavor. And you have a song. Well, baby, turn me. Oh, baby, turn me. Right? You put it out and it gets a lot of airplay and boom, it's trending. And if you say, okay, I don't care about the airplay, I don't care about, you know, the IP.
Okay, the IP, yeah.
Right? I'm popular, I just do shows, right? Then they book him and he performs. He's performing in different places. But the music that is promoting the artist, that's giving the artist the performance opportunities to earn money, the music is co-owned, or let's say the music was co-created by some other guy who was the producer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And that producer is not going to perform with Flavor.
It's
not going to get a percentage of Flavor's performance fees.
Yes.
Now, maybe that song was also co-written by someone. Maybe Sawale. That's Rex Lawson.
Yes, Rex Lawson sampled from...
Rex Lawson died in the 70s or 60s.
Yes.
But he has an estate, and that is his IP, right? Rex Lawson would not come back from the dead to perform, or his kids or his grandkids would not jump on stage to perform
that song, yeah.
But they have an interest in the song.
Yes.
In the IP. So if you have a split sheet, they probably have X percentage, for publishing rights. In our district, you probably wouldn't have some 5 or 2 or 3 or 1% from mechanicals, because a lot of what is on that song, One Baby or what it's called, it's based off of the progression, the whatever is based of
Rex Lawson.
Rex Lawson.
Okay.
So if I'm Flavor and I say I don't care, people who play the record should not pay royalties.
Yeah.
As long as I perform shows.
That's
What
now.
about the other interested parties, the other co-owners of the IP?
Of the song.
Who represents them? Let's say Flavor was signed to a label and that song was released by a record label. And the record label got 5 million naira from Obaino or Chijo, one-time fee.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And it moves on. The sound recording is owned by the record label. Let's say the record label is called Tonight Records. You have to separate the artist now from the record label, right? Tonight Records. Let's say each of us have $1 million naira invested in the record label.
Oh, in the record label.
In the record label. And the record label owns the IP. Now, the artist who performed the song is making money
from performance fee and all that stuff.
The record itself, the label, the label,
they're
not making money. Yeah.
So how did they make their money?
Right. So all of these are issues. Now, for you to be able to sort all of these things out, your IP protection and administration system has to be functional.
Okay.
Now, do we just say, okay, we're making money now, we represent talents that are popular and they're popping and they're playing shows every weekend, so we really don't care? We couldn't do that.
No.
So we got involved in the process of trying to solve the problem. We met the problem, right? But
yeah,
again, we want to be able to say when we came in, stuff was like this.
Nobody changes
1 year,
over.
10 years later, we left it better. That goes back to the mantra, make your little space a better place, right? So we engaged and I got a lot of support. Veterans like, my Eddie Lawani.
Oh, okay.
Uncle Lalu Ekins.
Are you serious?
The late, great Mr. Tojo Ejoichi.
Wow.
Sure, when I got into the system, I tried to set up, a movement, right? We hosted a hangout, got our colleagues, our friends, industry players in the room to discuss the situation, It was the first meeting was at Sweet Sensation.
Ikeja,
right? We myself, Don T, and one or two other, we rented a space. They have like a meeting room there, so we paid for 2 hours, right? We said we were like 10 a.m. to 12 o'clock. We invited a few guys to come to have a conversation. Of course, Nigerians.
They didn't turn up.
They didn't show up until the first set of guys. The first set of guys showed up at like 1 hour, 30 minutes into the time that
God damn it, only 30 minutes left.
And that time, the ginger, the story just is one sweet. So we had to extend, and of course, Eddie Lawani, paid for the extension and all of that. So it was very informal. But after that conversation, we found out that it was really important to keep this conversation going and find practical ways of solving the problems. So we kept it on. We called it Music Business Forum. Then later we said, okay, we had to register formally. We had to grow it properly. So we registered as AMPIPRO, Association of Music Business Professionals. And we started engage people from the government, engage people from MCSN, people from PMRS, all the players, the radio station guys, the TV station guys. We started speaking with people to say, look, this is not ideal, right? What are the challenges? How do we fix the challenges? That's how we ended up setting up, Corporate Society of Nigeria and blah, blah, blah. And we were looking okay for the first 7-8 years. Yes. There was that conversation.
Coson.
Yes, that conversation snowballed into the creation of, Coson. Yes. Right. And we had a lot of support. People like, Commander Evangelist Ebenezer Obey, the late great Yinka Onwenu, a lot of people, right? So we moved into the space to say, okay, we are the young guys now, right? We own the trending music. We represent the trending artists. So we need this problem solved, and you guys have to listen to us. Right? And they did listen. A lot of them, listened to us. Yeah, but of course, the Coson matters. It didn't end well. It hasn't ended well.
We're going to talk about it. Are you ready?
Of course, yeah.
You ready?
If we're going to talk about IP, we won't leave it today because it's such a serious. We need to move on.
But what we did, what happened between 2010 and 2017 was clear evidence of what is possible if people commit
to something.
To something. Yes.
So what my takeout was that it's not impossible.
Yeah, of course.
Because again, people told us clearly that right, for Nigeria, we go pay royalty for. I had friends on radio who were calling me to say, if it creates to worry you, like we were able to promote our music, they talk to people. I said, guys, it's not like that. let's sit down, let's have a conversation on how these things work, right? I had radio station guys who said, oh, they pay for everything. They pay for, spend a lot of money paying for diesel. They pay, in salaries, they pay everything that now somebody's asking to pay for music. And I said, okay, what do you broadcast? When you turn on your transmitters and all that, what do you broadcast? You broadcast your news. Your news, you have a news editor.
Yeah.
Somebody writes it. Is the news editor paid or not?
He's paid.
You broadcast your newscaster.
Yeah.
Your newscaster, are they paid or not?
They're paid.
You broadcast your OAPs.
Yes, the OAPs, and they're paid.
Are they paid or not?
They're paid.
Then you broadcast the
music, and you don't want to pay.
So what's the difference?
And you even get ads. And you
so what's the content?
Money.
What's the primary content that you feed your audience?
It's the music.
Right? Okay. So if you don't think the music
is important,
you say you pay for diesel.
Take it off.
You pay for generator. Okay, so next day when you start your station at 6 a.m. or something, just carry the microphone, take it to the nozzle of the generator, and broadcast the generator noise.
And let's see whether they're going to get adverts.
And see who will listen. It will
let's
take
see whether they get adverts.
Maximum.
Yeah.
Maximum 40 seconds. Everybody will change their dial.
Yeah, of course, they will.
So the primary juice, the primary source, the primary content that you share
of
is
the radio
music.
station.
So you cannot put a figure, a budget for everything else, and not put a figure
on
for the
content,
music,
yeah.
right? The fact that the industry the people have cheapened themselves or out of desperation, doesn't mean that that's standard global practice. What you do here, you can't do it in Burkina Faso, you can't do it in Botswana, you can't do it in South Africa. As we speak, even after all these years, after all this work, right? 2024, quote me.
Yeah.
6 active broadcast stations in Botswana. I'm not talking South Africa, I'm not talking Kenya.
Yeah, Botswana.
Right, in Botswana, 6 active broadcast stations in Botswana paid more in royalties than 600 broadcast stations in Nigeria.
In Nigeria. Can you imagine that?
So check the size of Botswana, check the size of the economy, check the size of the population. Ask yourself, what makes it reasonable? What makes it acceptable that Burkina Faso will collect more music royalties than Nigeria? What makes it how does it make sense that the average Nigerian artist today, the average Nigerian record label today earns more? If you have a record that's big across the continent, you're more likely going to earn more money from South Africa than you're going to earn from
Nigeria, where you originate from, where the music comes from.
Yes. And we have more radio stations, we have more TV stations,
yes.
We have advertising revenue, we have all of
course.
that.
But you're making more money outside than making money inside.
Well, I mean, Nigerians, they are selfish people. Everybody's out for their own interests.
I call it the culture of general anyhowness.
It's true.
You have a lot of
we need to move on because we need to touch on a lot of places.
That's the culture of general anyhowness.
I know.
I want to ask, as someone mentoring the next generation, what's one common mindset or attitude you see this new generation creatives exhibit that is pulling them back? Remember when I mentioned we were talking about your passion, and I was like, at what point did you realize, I should be making money out of this, or I should monetize it? And then you were like, no, you were even doing other things to fund this passion. But these days, anybody can just blow up. And the first thing that comes to mind is, how can I make money out of it?
So I don't even think there's a problem with that, right? I actually commend what's the word now? The resourcefulness.
Yeah.
Right? The business, because again, passion can only take you,
far.
That's, to a certain extent. Creative enterprise is expensive. It's cost intensive enterprise. That's why the conversations are always about patient capital. I was having a conversation with someone 2 days ago, and they were talking about investing in some stuff in another. I'm saying, guy, take your money, go do buying and selling. Right? You cannot. If I tell you anything else, I'll be lying to you. You can't set up this studio, get this equipment, get this stuff, and tell
And
yourself
expect.
that you put money into this podcast stuff, then in 3 months
you're
you're going to
making
make
it
it
back.
back, or 6
No,
months
no,
you're going to
no,
make it
no.
back, right? If anybody gives you a business plan and tells you that they're lying to you, right, you're going to grow it. You're going to say, we are here. We don't show. Get boots on ground. You strap on your
Yes.
your whatever belt,
Yes.
right? It's okay. We are here. We're going to get this done. Some of the things you do will have short-term, benefits.
Yeah.
Some will have mid-term stuff, but you always have to have a long-term goal.
All right.
Right. So I really don't mind. I actually like the fact that these days people are more profits oriented. However, the danger with that is what do you put first? Right? What do you put first?
What do you put first?
Yes, what comes first? It's not even a today thing or 10 years ago or 1,000 years ago thing. The thing about business
The end goal is
is
make
value,
profit.
right?
Yeah.
You create value,
Yes, you do.
then you exchange that value for money.
Right.
What people are trying to dodge, what they're looking for shortcuts, is the process of creating that stuff that is value. The value that you create is what you go to the market with. So whether if you go back 200 years where they're doing trade by barter, you plant your yam, you tend the whole thing,
Yes.
you harvest the yam, right? Then you take the yam to the
market to exchange for
and
something
you exchange that yam,
Yes.
for gari or for
Whatever it
rice
is
or
that you
something,
need.
right? Because if you go to the market without yam, there's no medium. There's something you have to. You're going home empty handed, right? So the things that we want to exchange for money, want to exchange for access, want to exchange for fame, we have to take time to incubate and grow them and develop them properly.
All right.
Now, if we're able to do that, the next step will be selling that stuff. And selling is easier when you have the right product, the right value.
Okay.
So what I just say to people is, whose opinion is it that what you have is ripe and ready? Is it your opinion? Or is it the
That's a
opinion
valid
of the
question.
buyer?
Oh, okay.
Right?
I get it.
Is it the
Is it
opinion of the
yours
buyer?
or the
Yeah,
buyer?
right? Because sometimes people ask me, young talent managers, artists, my artists just, they pop like, bros, if someone called me for show, how much should I charge them? My response is always the same thing. Even with my team, my response is always the same thing. I tell them, charge what the buyer is willing to pay. They don't get it.
That's dangerous, Efe.
No,
well, you said they don't get it. Okay,
they don't get it, right?
Make us get it.
What the buyer is willing to pay.
Willing is the underlined word.
Willing, yes.
All right.
Charge what the buyer is willing to pay.
Because you feel that's what is
at
is
that time.
So from the buyer's perspective.
This is how it works.
Okay.
You call me. You want to book CMCA, right? Or you have a birthday party on the book CMCA. And I say, okay, CMCA, what date? You say March 1st. I say, okay, let's check the calendar, right? I'll come back to you and tell you. Maybe the calendar is free, but we'll not tell you there and then that the calendar is free. Sorry, guys. We will not tell you.
That's how
you guys do that.
We'll not tell you. We'll tell you that we need to go check. Why? Because we need to give you the impression that we'll have to move things around to open up that date for you, right? It's a value game. So you call me, my guys tell you, okay, we'll come back to you. Then okay, the date is currently available. There are 2 other inquiries, they've not been confirmed, not been paid for, so the date is still available. But if you want to do a deal, we can close it for you. But if there's delay, you might not be available by the time you're ready.
By the time you're ready.
Right? So the customer is saying, okay, fine, so how much? You say 2 million. 2 million. Does it call back? No, it doesn't call back. The next person calls, if you say 2 million, they say, no, they don't call back. The third person calls, you say 2 million, then you know that 2 million is not
your price.
Is not the price at that point.
Yes.
Right? Then the fourth person calls, you say 2 million, you say, 2 million, guy, too much now, guy, I'm gonna do 1M now. The fifth person, guy, if it's 1M, I can pay, but 2 million is too much. That is what the market is saying at that point.
At that point, about you,
right?
about your worth.
So what's the smart thing to do? Collect that 1 million. Keep working, keep investing, keep growing, keep incubating that stuff, right?
Yes.
One day, in the next couple of weeks or months, someone else will call you, right? You know, what to book CMCA? How far? It's okay. Go through the routine. We'll come back to you. We'll let you know. Guy, the stuff is tight because it's really tight.
Mm-hmm.
That weekend, there are like 2 or 3 inquiries, right? 1 million, 1 million, 1 million. Now, one of those inquiries is in Maiduguri. If he goes to Maiduguri, but now I get the flight back, and the time,
all those, expenses will have eaten deep into the money.
So the time in the logistics, you have a logistic nightmare.
Yeah.
If those 2 shows are in Lagos, you can take the 2 shows in Lagos. You might even make more of it. Take 2 shows, 750, do 2 shows in Lagos. To take 1 show and go out, and you're unable to get back, right? So just because you're crowded, you say, it's tight, but but we can work something out. The guy says how much? You say 3 million, and you say, guy, I pay you 2.5 now. You go form as if you're excited, but you won't be betrayed, right? 2.5, no, guy, 2.5, no, it has to be 3. Guy, when I take 2.5 now. What has happened? The market is saying that they can do 2.5 because of the demand.
Yes.
Right? Demand pool. Right? Now, so after 2, 3, 4 other inquiries, 2.5 becomes so standard. The next time you're asking for 5 million naira, and they say, come on now, maybe we could do 4 now. So, but you don't sit down and say, okay, my artist is popping. If it's not 2 million, the guy will stay house, he's not going to do anything. The guy, you go, now everything will red, right? So now, this simple analogy, what it says is that as you develop your stuff, it's like putting a film out, the viewers are going to the cinema, it's the same thing.
Yes.
The people who come out, who are paying, how they respond is what determines is the commercial value. So from the creators, and we are looking at the number of days you use to create the film, right? You're looking at the amount of money that you spend. From the marketing guys, the streaming guys, the whatever, they're not looking at all of that.
At all.
They really don't care. What is the value? They're looking at what people are paid. So if you make a movie with 40 million, you take it to the cinema, and at the cinema it generates 200 million. When Netflix or Amazon, when you go to Prime and you want to negotiate, they are negotiating based on the fact that you did 200 million at the box office. That's it's measurable benchmark. They'll say, okay, people like this, people are willing to pay. So if we acquire this content, people watch it. But if you make your movie with 200 million naira and it goes to the box office and it earns 10 million naira, in your eyes, it's a great movie. It's well funded. It has all the stars. But in commercial terms,
it is not.
It has only generated 10 million naira in revenue. So if you balance that perspective, then you are able to incubate, create, grow your stuff to the point where if you say 2 billion, they will say no problem.
Wow.
If you say 4 billion, they will say no problem.
Because they believe you can.
Because of the value.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's you need to grow, you need to know that. And again, that value oftentimes is not just down to the talent.
Yeah.
It's not just down to the quality of the film or the quality of the song.
Yes.
There's a
whole lot of things that goes into it.
One person can take your work to a distributor and struggle to get $1 million. Somebody else will take that same work to that distributor and they'll be begging the guy to accept $3 million.
Wow.
It's just so that dynamics around the stuff. So what young people should know is that if you focus on building that value, if your focus is on the value, what you want, you'll get it easier than if your focus is on the buzz, on clouds, on you're all over the place. And that's why people get it wrong. They think it's not by how you take, make noise. How there's this belief that if you're a rabble rouser, if you make some kind of noise, if you do some kind of stuff that that's a misconception. Right? That's a misconception. You will get some stuff. You will get some small noisy money.
Well,
But you will not get. Are you going to get Dr. Dre type money?
Efe,
Are you going to make?
You're going
Rihanna,
too far.
No, are you going to make Rihanna? Are you going to make Rihanna
You're going
type money?
too far, man.
Right? Is Kanye West? Was Kanye West a billionaire because he made noise? He delivered value. Kanye West can say a lot of stuff you don't like from January to September, and October he drops an album that is pure gold.
Yes, of course. He's known to do that.
You cannot argue with the quality.
He's known to do that.
Years. You cannot argue with the quality of what he does. You're not Jay-Z. Look at the guys who are making the most money in the game. Are they making the most money based on noise, or they're making it based on value? So if you create value, if you incubate value, no matter how long it takes, value will find you, and you make the kind of money. Yes.
Efe, you see this discussion now? We spent an hour already, but I can't leave you. I have 2 questions. I'm going to give you AI questions. Just ask him the AI question, but I want to ask you. I want us to talk about. You're going to help me and abridge it.
Yeah.
MCSN Coson, what's the brouhaha? That's one part, And then I keep asking myself, from the little knowledge I have, let me just be modest. The little knowledge I have about copyright and all that stuff, is it a crime if 2 royalty collecting society exist in a country? So is a 2-pronged question. Yeah. So you know that MCSN Coson thing, it's more or less like, I'm not being specific.
Yeah.
You know, there was a takeover, and then it seemed as if there was no takeover again. I mean, you were in the thick of things. Over. You were in the my language, not
no. I like that. I love it.
So it seems it's not a matter of seems. You were in the thick of things. So and then Baba Kekeke too was part of the whole thing, and so I'm wondering what's going on between MCSN and Coson, and that brought me to that question: can't we have 2 or more royalty collecting society in a country where artists will register with the one they so choose?
You're correct. We can, and if my memory serves me right, that's actually the scenario that exists now. Now, right? Yes.
I thought they said Coson is being disbanded or something.
No. Coson has issues.
The
issues Coson has, and they're not about duplicity or multiplicity of CMOs.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
Coson, okay. So let me break it down.
Do please.
This time in 2010.
2010.
The 2010, the law in Nigeria did not allow for 2 collecting societies.
I know about that.
Within a specific section of a specific area.
Like a
arts.
radius diameter kind of.
No.
Okay, not.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
So for music, for example.
Oh, that's what you meant.
There's music, there's literary works.
Okay.
So for each category of copyright, the law only recognizes one society.
Yeah, I do understand now.
And I wasn't around when I wasn't part of the system when they drafted that law. But
that law must be really old. You know that?
It wasn't so old. I think it came around the regime of Babangida around that period. They revised the Copyright Act.
Oh, they revised it that time, yeah.
And they made that stipulation that one CMO, which is a copyright management organization within for a category of rights.
Yes, of rights, yes.
And why? The justification then was that the users, right, tend to pitch rival CMOs
against
each other, right? And they used it to break them. They used it to circumvent
so that they won't even
pay, right? So if you come from PMRS,
yes, that
you want to collect royalties, they will tell you,
we paid.
They pay to, they don't know to pay to.
Oh, okay.
Right? They say, okay, you want to collect money for Sir Victor White, for Fela, or you want to collect money for maybe Sonny Okosun.
Yes.
Okay. Which society should we pay to? Right? And because of the way copyright, I just give you an example of how you know a song as Flavor's song, and
Yes.
Flavor is performing the song, but there are other people who have interests
In that
right,
particular
in that
song.
particular song.
Yes.
AKA the record label people. You know Tonight Records, you don't know who and who has interest in Tonight
of course.
Records,
Yes,
right?
of course.
You know the song, but you don't know who and who contributed as songwriters. You don't know who produced the song.
Yes.
The new version has a producer. The older version has a producer. The older version has a
Has
writer.
yes.
They probably have co-writers.
Of course.
Right? So you can your right as one person cannot undo the right of the other people who have interest in property,
of course.
right?
Yes, true.
So because of that kind of scenario, you had a situation where it was difficult to say, okay, the guy who performed the song might belong to PMRS,
Okay.
but the record label might have affiliations with MCSN,
Yes.
right? So when you say you don't know who to pay, you also don't want to say where you pay to one person and the other person comes to sue you because they say that they've not been paid,
They've not been
right?
paid.
Or you won't ask them to go meet the other guys to
That
pay
you pay
you,
them,
right?
go meet
If you're
them.
a member of MCSN, for example, I doubt if MCSN will pay you for anything,
Yeah.
right? So the guys who did the law at that time felt like if there's only one collecting society for one category of rights for music,
Yeah.
everybody will belong to that society.
That's exciting.
So all of you will go and say, okay, this one song, there are 6 or 7 of us that are,
Of course.
co-owners of this song.
Old song.
And this is a different degree of ownership, different percentages of the splits. So if Coson collects 100 naira or 1 million for that song, and there are 5 of you involved, and each of you has, say, 20%,
Yeah.
Coson would take the administrative fee,
Yes, yeah.
and
yeah.
whatever is left, they will split it times 5, and
5.
everybody will get their money. So
Yes.
it's one system, one organization, one accounting, one
I get
overhead
it, yeah.
that was more efficient, more transparent.
Well,
way,
at that
right?
time.
That was the reason for one society for a category of rights. But of course, like in a lot of things Nigerian, the process never worked the way it was supposed to work. So you had people who say, oh, I don't want to be part of this CMO. I don't like these guys. I don't mess with these guys. I don't want to be in their camp. So for years before we came through, you had that tension.
Yes.
It was difficult to resolve.
Of course.
Accusations and counter accusations. We said, okay, why you guys are accusing one another, PMRS, MCSN, why you're fighting? We're making music. Our music is being used for radio, for TV broadcasts across the continent.
Yes.
We are not getting paid. So can we all get into one room and sit down and find a way to make it work? Because if really it's about the right holders getting their money, then the administrators should not become so big-headed that you block the channels of people making money, right?
Yeah.
Except it's about your self-interest. If your self-interest, we can have that conversation.
All right.
But if it's about people who've created stuff getting remuneration for what they've created, then it should be very simple, very easy to figure out. So we try to force that conversation, and we brought everybody into the room. And we try to work out a way where we can say, okay, let us collapse everything into one system, so we can all make it work for everybody's interest. The PMRS guys agreed to work with us. The MCSN didn't agree to work with us. But that was the report that they didn't even tell us that they didn't want to work with us. They didn't tell us on time. We had a press conference. We had reached out to them. We said we want to announce to the world, the users that were through the media, to the government, that we want to form a common front to resolve this issue. And they didn't say they weren't going to be a part of it. They said they were going to get back to us.
And they didn't
we
show
sent them stuff. We told them to confirm, right? It was really sad.
It is.
So we had a press statement written that we're going to, after the announcement, we're going to share to the media guys.
Yes.
Somebody said, those guys they're going to embarrass us.
God damn
They're
it.
going to tell that they're not part of it.
Are you
He doesn't
serious?
want to be embarrassed. So we didn't argue with him. So what we did was that we made another copy of the press statement. One copy had their name.
In it.
The other
and
copy
one
did not have
their name in it.
MCSN. So we went to the press conference and we told ourselves that if 15 minutes to the beginning of the press conference they did not
show up
indicate
or indicate,
yes, that they were want to be a part of it, we're going to circulate
the second
one
one.
that does not have their name, so we don't get it. But we all agreed. So we went to the meeting. We waited 50. I was calling, Eddie Lawani was calling, another person was calling. Alpha, are you guys? You need to solve this problem? Are you guys in and out? and they didn't respond. So we circulated Plan B,
Yes.
press statement,
Yes.
and almost immediately
They responded.
we got a disclaimer that we should not
gosh.
use their name, that they are not part of it. But we were friends; they could have told us.
Of course,
you
of
know,
course.
out of respect, guys, I don't want to do this. So we felt it was bad faith, right? So we moved on. Then we worked with PMRS, and we formed, Coson.
Okay.
And we said, if you guys don't want to work with us, it's fine. Sort your problems out. But all of us, myself, Edilani, Obiasika, and Storm, Chocolate City, Aldo, Paul, all the guys who were big in this space within that period.
Yeah.
We wanted to solve the problem. So we moved in and we collaborated with the older guys that we met who were part of NARI, part of PMRS, and all of that. And because it's not something you can set up a company on your own if it's like a private limited liability company. But this is an industry structure to help work out, a system for compensation for the use of. You can't do it, or you can't cherry pick who you want to be friends with, or it's an industry institution. So we felt we needed to collaborate, and we felt MCS was not forthcoming. So we got started, and for the first few years, it went well. Right, of course, MCSM fought back. They went to court to challenge.
Went to court.
Their rights to exist or to collect royalties, and later they got a judgment that kind of permitted them to represent their members. Right, so from when they got that judgment, it became impossible to enforce the law that says it has to be one society. But over that period, Coson had issues with accountability. Coson had issues with, processes. Coson had issues with corporate governance.
Wow.
And we'll sit in the boardrooms and all of that, and we'll ask questions. How, did this come about? What's going on here? And the answers were not clear. They were not, we just got tired. We didn't want to be dragged into scenarios about things that we couldn't explain. So, we made a move, and we voted out, the board chairman.
Tony Okoroji.
Yes, we voted out, Tony Okoroji. I was, nominated to replace him. They took a vote. They voted me as, chairman. So I said, okay, first thing we need to do is to clean house. We got KPMG or one of these.
To audit.
Yeah, to do a complete audit. We had to recalibrate. I guess people panicked. And
They did.
We woke up one day and they set up an emergency meeting, and they said they brought back the guy, they reinstated the guy, and blah, 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 and
they didn't want accountability.
So everything got turned upside down. Of course, we spoke to the regulators, the NCC.
Yes.
They reviewed everything. Sure, the NCC guys were present. They always have a representative, So
Okay.
the guy sent his report of what happened.
Yeah.
So NCC asked that they should return to status quo, leave the stuff as it is, give us 60 or 90 days to resolve some stuff and all of that. And, they went through, they started attacking the NCC, started attacking everybody, they started filing lawsuits, muddy the waters,
Really? Wow.
turn off everything upside down, just, create a lot of noise, a lot of whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so at the end of the day, our demands were our demands. We just wanted, transparency.
Yes,
we wanted
of course,
an audit.
accountability and
we
all
say,
that,
yes, this audit must be. If that is not done, you cannot keep on collecting money on behalf of people if you cannot exactly,
account for
it.
Yes.
And till today, what has happened is that while they were going back and forth, their license expired, and to renew the license, the conditions had to be met.
Yes, all those audit
Coson refused to meet the
books has to be.
conditions. So NCC is unable till today to renew their license. So they're functioning in some whatever arrangement,
whatever kind of arrangement,
but they do not have a license, to function.
Yeah.
Now even NCC can't do much about them because they're not under NCC regulation; they're on their own. So technically, Coson has been operating as a rogue organization since 2018. This is 2026. Yeah, so for 8 years they've been operating as a rogue organization.
It means our royalty collection is it's suffering.
Let me just ask my last question. You see, AI and technology is changing things lately.
Yeah.
you can be from the comfort of your house and make music. You don't necessarily even need to be an artist anymore to make music. Anyone can make music.
Yeah, sure.
So, like, how do you think African creatives should position themselves to get the best out of this new shift?
Is that a question?
You should get involved.
Efe, is he not threatening us?
No. AI is
because
not...
how do you now determine who is an artist and who is not an artist?
Okay, so how did you even define the first who was an artist and who wasn't an artist?
An artist who puts in the work. You see the process.
When did the recording? When did the business of recording music? When was it? When did it start?
I have no idea.
There wasn't recorded music in 1305. There wasn't recorded music in 1701. What you have today is what you have as a music industry today is a direct direct consequence of the invention of the gramophone.
Okay.
For the first time, humans were able to capture sound and record it and record it. Playback. That's when so the music industry today is an invention of technology, more of technology than art.
Okay.
Right? And every major shift from the gramophone, the first films they made, they invented cameras for making films before they invented the ability to record sound.
Thank you. There we go.
So a lot of the films that came up, they didn't have sound.
They didn't have sound.
You had a live orchestra playing music, so it's like you do with theater.
Yeah,
there's a performance, on the stage, and there's a musician. Now that's why you had motion picture recorded and the sound. There were people playing it, according to the timing and all of that stuff. So technology. Once there's a technology shift, once there's a technological invention, there's a shift. It rearranges, it redefines everything. We did that for a while. Then we got to vinyl.
Yeah, we did.
Then people say, then we got to cassette.
Cassette, yes.
Between vinyl and cassette, there was the
cartridge.
Cartridge.
Yes, I think it was cartridge. Yes.
12 tracks, etc.
Yes,
Cartridge.
Yes.
Then you go to the cassette. Then you go to the CD. Now, if I showed my young son a VHS tape a few years ago.
I was confused.
The guy was probably expecting the thing to just, fly. So it's technology. What it has delivered is a faster, easier way to create stuff. But the fact that you create a sound, like I can do a few prompts and get a song, doesn't mean that the song is going to be a fantastic song.
But there are people who can also make.
What I'm saying is, the fact that I open Suno now and I put a few prompts and I put lyrics doesn't mean that what's going to come out is going to be a fantastic song. There's no guarantee. It's going to be a song, but it probably will not be a great song. Very likely will not be a great song.
So do you not think
Wait,
okay.
Be patient. Graphics, same thing, right? I can use a few prompts to say, Tayo, I want Tayo, in a suit, whatever. I want the lighting, whatever. It comes out. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean it's a fantastic picture. It means it's a picture, but it doesn't mean it's a fantastic picture, right? So what do? We make music. We enhance the process with AI the same way we have a 1 terabyte SSD, whatever now to save stuff. A few years ago, we had to go through the drawer tree.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to simplify the process, but it's not the process. It's not going to. AI is not going to be the music. People are going to feed AI with the lyrics, with the style, with the stuff that they want, right? And you're also going to listen to 5, 6, 7, 10 different versions. And as a human, you have to decide which one is.
So there's still some level of human process.
Yes, which one is giving, right? If as a creative director now, my team can generate stuff faster with AI, but I have a final say on which designs we use. So you move from the drudgery of Photoshop creating the stuff to the task of a tastemaker of your value judgment of these 10 options. This is the one that will work. Same way you have to record demos and all that. So, okay, these are the 3 songs that will make the EP. These are the 10 songs that will make the album. Somebody has to make those decisions, right? And when you have a song where you put, I told you about pushing music. There's the music. Well, the music does not exist in a vacuum. You have to market, you have to package it, you have to promote it.
Yeah.
You have to have a strategy, right? You have to have a strategy. You have a phone. Everybody has a phone. You go on social media, there's information overload, right? If I want to advertise STV's new song and I want you to pay attention to listen to it, I have 3 seconds to catch your interest.
Okay, yeah.
If not, you will scroll off.
Yeah,
so it wouldn't matter how much money I spend on Google Ads. If the ad is not speaking to you,
yes,
and if it's not connected with it. So AI is a tool like the microphone. If I didn't have this microphone, I'd have to project louder.
Okay.
This chair is a tool, right? So AI is for people to use to enhance their work process, not for everybody to just go cheap. Let everybody drop a record today and say, because AI can drop record, and see whether a song will just suddenly become fantastic or it will just go up the charts.
Okay,
who's going to promote it? Who's going to market it? Who's going to perform it? So if the song even blind people like and said it's okay, makes you show up for events, maybe you can perform the song, who's going to perform it? So you find that people create songs with AI, but they also look for a human vocal interpreter to sing the song, right? So they can strip the AI vocals, put the human, so that the song can be performed and promoted at different places, at weddings, because it needs a human face, it needs a human story. So even as you're performing, so AI is an enabler, right? People that are going to be replaced by AI they're going to be replaced by anything anyway. You know?
Okay, but
So
that's been my fear. I was going to
it.
tell you that some people will be misplaced. We've agreed on that, and we also say that some people like perform on stage, blah blah. You still need the human feel, the human input for all that. Yeah. Well, it's lovely. I was going to argue with you about.
No, you can hold your opinion.
No. I was going to talk about the fact that it's going to displace some people, and we've agreed on that. I mean, you said people.
Oh yeah, they'll be displaced.
So it's like rather than sharing is the shoe.
Yes, it's recalibration.
Make use of it.
It's rearrangement. And again, we can do this stuff and put it on air.
Yeah.
With the 3 of us, or we can decide to make the presenter or the interviewer AI.
Yeah, yes.
But again, the audience will determine what they want to watch.
True.
Do they prefer the AI version or do they want
the human version?
One
Yes. It's hey guys, are you entertained? Are you informed? It's educating, isn't it? I told you, but we didn't have the time that we needed. I don't know if my viewers can stay for 2 hours, or maybe Efe. If we call you back, were you gonna come? You're gonna come.
So and the Bello called me.
He did.
He told me that he has this. I said, Andy, just once I find the time, I'll show up.
Okay.
Andy, if you tell me to go to you tell me to go to Sambisa Forest to do something.
Beg you, come on, you go to Sambisa Forest before you ask him the reason why he's sending you there.
Sambisa Forest.
Andy, why you send me
why you say you can come, right? So he laughed, and then I asked for, okay, let me see, what the stuff. Once it said the stuff,
your nigga, that nigga.
I see when I get it, I'm going to interview you guys.
Well, you have done your interview before behind the camera.
You guys. So any time, bro. You're my brother, bro.
Yes. It's lovely to have you. Man, we call it KLP, you call it Knowledge Lounge, and I'm sure I'm not hoping, I'm sure you've had fun, because that's what we're supposed to do. And we delivered with Efe in the house, no dull moment. Education. That's what it did. We could go on and on, but we don't have the time. And I'm going to invite you to another podcast. Please be with us. But right now, if you watch this, you have any comments, don't forget to like it. Don't forget to subscribe if you've not subscribed. And hey, Keep another date with us. It's Knowledge Lounge and we out. Peace out.
Bye, guys.